Welcome to DC GCC, where we bring you governmental information and classical entertainment. I am Governor Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild Judge, Governor of the Federal Estate of Washington, District of Columbia. I am pre-recording this rather than going through a Zoom meeting because I wanted to ensure no interruptions just in case something's going on with the satellite or the data. This is an update to the executive state of emergency. Let me begin by saying I came to town, to DC, in August of 2023 without a place to stay. I came here as a survivor of kidnapping and assault, as well as a political refugee. Formerly, I was a candidate for United States Senator for the state of Texas. That can be verified at fec.gov. Just go to the search bar and put my name in and it'll come up. While I was at the shelter, I bought a place to live, paid in full, have my purchase and sale agreement, and that property was embezzled. The criminal embezzlers are associated to some of the persons who work at the shelter where I'm staying. Nonetheless, while I was at the shelter and after my property had been embezzled, I was appointed into this honorable duty to be the first governor of the Federal Estate of Washington, District of Columbia. So here we are. I declared an executive state of emergency after doing a lot of work for the public and posting it publicly. I wanted everyone to know that you can rely on me to get the job done with real results. And the way to prove that was to get some work done with some real results at a time that it really didn't matter to a lot of people, but it does matter. The work is there. So I have a few notes that I want to touch on. You can be patient. I don't know what order I'm going in, because right now I am under attack by persons who should be supporting me because it's their position and they're being paid for those positions of support. Things are hostile. I've been set up, framed, and entrapped in order to dislocate me or cause a great discomfort whereby I would need to access emergency funds or emergency services. However, I am at a homeless shelter. That's emergency enough. As well, I am due to go and appear before DCHR customer care representatives in order to get my government issued ID. These things are in line with government protocol. I cannot speed up the process. Neither am I authorized to slow it down when they are expecting me to come in and fulfill my duty by presenting myself and obtaining my government badge. So I'm going to go from these notes. No support against people. Okay, right now I am not getting any support against people who are defying my orders and commands at the shelter. I gave them the information about administrative area to create a buffer. However, they constantly put unauthorized persons in my area. They have put persons in the room with me deliberately to urinate on themselves and defecate on the floor. That has happened within the last month. They have changed people out of the room, and they repeatedly do intakes at improper times just to put persons in the room to entrap me. And I'm aware of this, so I've been able to avoid a lot of it. And I know what they're up to, which is why they were not able to actually cause a fight with me, because I've been avoiding all of that. So I'm trying to cover all of our bases, yet these persons in their antics to impress one another are an obstruction of justice and interference with government operations, and one of the major reasons in part that I even had to declare an executive state of emergency. When it comes to the defiance, I feel cornered a lot of times because it seems I have no backup, despite the fact that everyone has received the executive orders and are well aware. You know, I really do get tired of people showing willful ignorance of my position as a government official and as a judge when I've already stated it. I've already told them, I've given them the proof. When it comes to being a judge, I have my tax identification number for my private chambers with my corporation. These things are being ignored, and persons are trying to set me up for their own selfish reasons, but I won't dwell on that. But when I tell someone who I am, I don't want to have a 15-minute conversation about that. I want to resolve an issue. I've been a judge for almost 20 years now, approximately 20 years now. So why am I still having to explain that I am a judge of federal jurisprudence? I've been the governor since 2024. So this would be the second year coming up in August, my second year anniversary. And let's give more credit to our law enforcement and our federal agents than what we've been given, because no one can go around and just declare these things and say these things. They would be brought in for indictment. Undoubtedly, everything I'm saying is authenticated and true because law enforcement is not afraid to talk to me. So if I were not true and valid, then I would be addressed for those reasons on specified charges with regard. But we don't worry about that because that it's true. So here I am. I feel it's all an insult to my authority, and it does affect the way I feel about wanting to be governor. I remain prayerful to keep my desire to be the governor when it's not a position that I really need to afford the cost of living. I have wealth with the U.S. IRS and 10 years business tax reports to substantiate that. I'm on the front line for this applied statehood. I could use some backup, everyone. People don't even have a chance to get it together at the shelter because of the unqualified staff at the shelter oppressing them and affecting them by trying to target me. They don't care who they affect. I can barely even get my whole name out, Governor Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild Judge, without someone interrupting me. And people refusing to use my title wouldn't be a problem if they were not committing criminal activity, acts of defiance against me. The antagonization is really aggravated assault, and it's aggravating and frustrating for me. So I don't know what anyone expects for me to do. In the meantime, one last thing. It is illegal to ask me to leave anywhere. When someone tries to make me leave anywhere, I know that it is a setup because they want some sort of override to my authority. I did not make these rules. This is federal stipulation. These are laws that were based on our Constitution that were in place before I was even born. I'm not the first government official. I may be the first to stay at a homeless shelter, but I'm not the first one. And it is illegal to do that. So why is anybody doing that? That is illegal, and I want that addressed. And people need to be brought up on charges to understand they cannot override my executive authority. Let's see if there's anything else that I wanted to cover. The last thing. I am a Catholic priest, and in Street Village, that's governing the homeless shelter where I'm staying, they are a unit of Catholic charities. Since I arrived, they have been in defiance of my priority as a Catholic priest. But we have some things going on there that we're trying to address. So I've been very lenient, and I didn't feel the need to go around throwing my weight around. Just comply, and things will get better. As well, the shelters, all of the public shelters are in acquisition by DHS under the authority of FUDC DHHS, a new establishment of government at our state capacity. And we are transitioning. So persons are trying to slide us at a disadvantage, and we need to take a stand about that. But this is my update. That's what's going on. And I hope for things to get better. I'm dedicated. I'm here for you. And I just ask for more backup from our law enforcement with regard to these things that are occurring. You all be blessed, and I'll update you again soon.